Une bélite, forcément. Bon, quel genre de conneries ou de dingueries je vais encore rencontrer, moi, hein. Club d'ascalon. Bonjour.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid.
Vous êtes rejeté, quoi?
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reid. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
Eh bah... C'est comme ça qu'on accueille les invités? Hein? On met le bordel partout? Qu'est-ce que c'est que ces manières? Non mais dites donc, monsieur.
There has been quite a battle here.
Oh là là. Mais c'est dégueulasse.
I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reid.
Non mais vraiment, hein. C'est sale, hein. Oh. Je me sens pas respecté, hein. Je suis Jonathan Reid, ferme la porte. Allô, y'a quelqu'un? Non mais c'est ça quoi, c'est... Bonjour, oh, au revoir. Oh, po, 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 po. Mais j'aurais pu faire un effort quand même, les gars. Oh, vraiment. Oh. Eh ben... Hop, de loot. Mais bon, ça m'empêchera pas de looter votre baraque, hein, clairement. Ah mais c'est le même tableau, c'est dommage. Ah, ça c'est dommage, les doublons de peinture comme ça. Ah c'est les trucs de l'époque, tu me diras. Hein, mais c'est vrai que j'ai jamais été trop fan dans les jeux. Mais des doublons de peinture quoi. Ah, surtout ouais, enfin c'est assez concis en plus. T'en as un là. Y'a un là quoi encore, enfin bon... Doublon de peinture pourquoi pas, mais pas à chaque recoin quoi. Y'a rien là. Hop. Oula, y'a du monde. Domo. Et ça veut pas dire chut.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reid. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him.
Here, here, here.
Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss.
Eh?
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reid. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reid.
Bon,
Thank
merci.
you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
Je l'admire, non, c'est une amie proche. C'est une amie proche.
She's a close friend, and I'm honored that she feels the same about me.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely.
Ah,
especially if she's a mortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, Do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the skull plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Pourquoi maintenant? Pourquoi moi? Enfin, bah, en dessous, c'est Osef. Pourquoi maintenant?
Why have you asked?
Cause de la grande chasse, je
Because
suppose.
the crisis is escalating. Our enemies, the Guard of Priwen, have even launched an open hunt.
Ouais, voilà.
The only way to calm things down is to put an end to the epidemic.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End? Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reid, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon, who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
It's of no concern of yours.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reid. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Ah bon, comme ça, quoi.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
Il va falloir parler, mon gars. J'ai tué l'un des vôtres déjà pour
I
commencer.
killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours, sent to cleanse the East End of all skals. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
Ok.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members.
Par contre, la
And I
caméra
do
qui fait un gros plan,
appreciate
au secours. Hein.
obedience.
Ascalon, c'est les Kingsman de vampires. Mais en vrai, c'est ouais, c'est ça en fait, quoi. En vrai, j'ai l'impression que c'est un peu ça, quoi. Vraiment.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
C'est marrant ça pour des vampires. Transpercer des cœurs, tout ça. Vous avez des pieux tant que vous y êtes aussi?
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few
Ah
years
ouais.
later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
Il est mort de quoi ton chevalier, mec? Bizarre ça. Bon bah pas le choix. Hein,
I
mais...
agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country.
Ok.
My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reid, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall. Speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance.
Waouh, je vais signer un bouquin
I know it's
incroyable.
awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation.
Même toi tu le dis mec en fait. Enfin, il y a un moment, bon. Voilà quoi. Attends, je vais te signer dans les papiers, vas-y fais chier. Comment ça va faire mal de faire ça? Ah! Ah! Putain!
Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reid. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
Le mec il voit un peu de sang, ça y est, il s'excite quoi. Le jeu qui autocritique son scénar. Oui, on sait que c'est de la merde, mais bon, les traditions, hein. Eh papy!
Good evening, Dr. Reid. How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece? Figuratively.
Je me sens plutôt mal à l'aise en vrai avec vous, hein, vraiment.
It's quite unsettling. As a doctor, I am more used to being the observer than the subject observed.
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why
Habituellement
would you
j'aime bien
be
être sur
interested?
scène, mais là
Well,
c'est un peu
as you
bizarre.
seem to be
quoi.
the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease.
Ah,
to
c'est pas un
fascinate.
vampire ce mec, ok.
They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by
Ah,
the way.
ok. Donc tu es pété de thunes.
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
Joe malade.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reid.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member, and a dying one at that.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Is not the nature of this club a secret shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reid, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
Ça m'étonne pas mec, hein, mais bon.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Ok.
Mr. Dawson, of Dawson and Dawson, the wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor.
I am a
My
doctor,
case is
but
beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in.
quoi?
To cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
Ah.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
But they are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reid.
Okay.
Money cannot solve every problem.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan, then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall.
Un mur.
A formidable, unscalable wall.
Non mais c'est Trump lui.
Isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
C'est dangereux.
By doing so, you would create two separate ghettos. What if the disease gets
C'est
past the
complètement
wall?
con en plus.
The results would be disastrous.
Not if we eliminate all suspected cases of infection as
Non
soon
mec,
as they
c'est
appear.
vraiment une idée de merde. Hein.
A
Non
necessary
mais...
sacrifice.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
Oh là là, oh papy hein. Écoute, je peux vous parler tous à chacun là ou Ah non, c'est... Ok. Bon.
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago, well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr.
C'est
Edgar
vrai.
Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
C'est vrai. Tu le connais du coup?
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
Bon, vous missionnez, ça paraît logique. Hein.
Not personally. I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to
Ah,
his
jusqu'à ce qu'il meure comme une merde quoi, mais bon... C'était qui ce mec en
Who
vrai?
was
Ouais.
Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Banshire was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Volcod, all muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed, ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
Ah, d'accord. Ok.
You do know I killed him.
Yes,
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
of course not.
Ok, il s'en fout.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied skals in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reid, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Priwen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the skals.
Certains sont comme inoffensifs, j'en ai eu la preuve pour le coup. Hein.
I have met peaceful and wise skals. To exterminate them means we are no better than vampire hunters.
Skals are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Ekon a bad name.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reid. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
Oh, c'est quoi ça? Niveau de charme? Oui, ok. Ouais. Ok. Interroger les citoyens du quartier sur les sources d'infection. Bah écoutez, hein. Bah let's go. Hein. C'est que là quand même. Ça en fait des choses. Hein. Puis. Donc on a un papy qui veut faire des murs à la Trump, lui il est en mode purifie tout mais je veux quand même sauver Londres. Bon.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
Bah c'est même pas, c'est fortement suggéré en fait.
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good.
Du coup je suis au niveau 4, c'est bien ça.
I'm
Alors.
investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
A few days ago, I spotted a strange.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaneys, a nice family who live in a big house near the park in the eastern part of this neighborhood.
Ah merci.
Goodbye, Charlotte.
She's been quite.
Attends, je suis niveau 4, je peux aller voir l'autre du coup. Niveau 4 tu peux... Ouais bah voilà, bah, je viens d'y penser en même temps tu vois. Je vais aller faire ça. On a le même déclic. Comme quoi... Ah merde, c'était où? Je crois que c'était par là. Ah c'était ici. Bonjour. Knock knock.
Hello again, Venus.
Jonathan, you're still up. Can't you just knock at people's doors during the day?
Non, je peux pas, laisse-moi rentrer.
I'm sure you can spare me a few minutes. For old time's sake.
Of course you may enter, Jonathan.
Bah tu vois quand tu veux. T'es gentil, hein.
You're lost, Jonathan.
Alors... Ça te dit qu'on parle.
It's a pleasure to see you again, Venus.
So you returned from the war in one piece too. Thank God. My Clarence is back home too.
How is the old rascal?
Probably outside, chasing ghosts and chimeras. Clarence has changed a lot since he returned from the war, you know.
Ah ouais?
Have you
En
noticed
plus, on se
anything
quartier.
peculiar about the neighborhood recently?
You mean except for your return to town? No. Oh, and again, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences for your mother and your sister. Such a tragedy.
Thank you, Venus. It was so sudden. And I've been so busy, I haven't spoken to anyone about it.
I wish I could have assisted at the funeral, but you know, it's been so quick. And what with the epidemic in the streets?
There's no need to apologize, my dear. It's normal, considering the circumstances.
No, it's not. I am sure that Clarence has not even thought to present you his condolences. He is too busy with his penny dreadful stories.
Oh, c'est fou.
Why is my return so surprising?
It's more an unexpected happy end than a surprise. You and Clarence, back from the war. You have no idea how hard it's been for me.
J'ai tellement du mal à y croire, meuf.
How have you been since the last time we met? How long has it been? 3 years now?
I've done my duty, like all British women. You have no idea what it was like to wait for months without knowing if I'd still be a wife or a widow.
I understand. Luckily, this part of town has been saved from the worst of the bombings, from what I've seen.
Yes, and it's also true about the epidemic. The flu has killed here too, of course, but not on such a large scale as in other parts of town.
Venus, why do you worry so much about your family's reputation?
Everyone laughs at Clarence now. And they avoid me because they believe I share his insane opinions. I'm a leper in my own community.
Ok. Rien, ok. Bon, ça, je vais poser la question.
investigating the
Ouais.
source of...
The McPhersons. I heard they locked themselves in their...
They could just be afraid of...
Perhaps you're right.
Ouais, bon, ça, c'est à regarder le.
Goodbye.
Mhm.
They were such a beautiful family.
Tu évites de parler de ma soeur comme ça, meuf, s'il te plaît? Merci. Genre. Doucement, hein.
At least you survived the Great War.
Oh là là, la petite tour d'horloge. Tac. Sortir par là. Non, on peut pas sortir par là.
You know that you are always welcome. At this hour of night?
Elle a l'air quand même un peu sur la défensive, quand même, la madame. Hein. Wow. Belle robe. Putain, mais.
It's locked, all right.
Ah, c'est verrouillé. Étonnant. Ah, c'est quoi ça? Journal intime. Ouh. J'ai passé la journée et la nuit dernière à pleurer, des larmes de joie. Ah, attendez. Faut que je bois avant. Là. Faut que je comprenne. 9 juillet 1918. J'ai passé la journée et la nuit dernière à pleurer des larmes de joie. Je n'imaginais pas à quel point le bonheur pouvait être douloureux. Mon Clarence vient de m'écrire, il est revenu de la guerre sain et sauf, il rentrera à la maison dans 2 semaines. Merci mon Dieu, merci 1000 fois, j'ai tellement hâte de retrouver mon cher mari. Ok, tout va bien. 14 août. C'est aussi le nom du système de suspension mécanique basique sur des voitures avec le ressort. Voilà, c'est milieu de culture. Ah d'accord, monsieur MC Ferson. Oh, c'est marrant ça. MC Ferson. McPherson quoi. Lol. MC. 14 août. Le comportement de Clarence m'inquiète toujours. Il n'est plus le même depuis qu'il est revenu. Les premières semaines, je croyais que c'était une période d'ajustement nécessaire. Il se conduit de façon de plus en plus instable. Ces jours-ci, il passe tout son temps dehors. 8 jours à la recherche de preuves. Il se Il se fiche de l'épidémie, il se fiche de moi, il commence à me faire peur. 21 septembre. Je n'arrive pas à le croire. Clarence a dépensé la moitié de sa pension pour imprimer de stupides bulletins qu'il veut distribuer gratuitement dans tout le quartier. Les gens commencent à se moquer de moi, ils veulent maintenant organiser une sorte de conférence publique dans un théâtre qui a récemment fermé ses portes pour avertir les gens de la présence de créatures maléfiques à Londres. Entrée gratuite, bien entendu, mon mari est peut-être revenu indemne de la guerre, mais je crains qu'il ait perdu l'esprit. 24. Clarence vient de m'avouer qu'il avait dépensé non pas la moitié de sa pension, mais la totalité, ainsi qu'une partie de nos économies. L'encre et le papier coûtent tellement cher à cause de la guerre, m'a-t-il dit, mais c'est un prix que nous devons payer. Les gens se moquent ouvertement de nous à présent, je ne sais plus quoi faire. 5 octobre, aujourd'hui, le boucher, monsieur Galway, m'a fait parvenir sa note de frais mensuels et m'a demandé le paiement intégral de celle-ci. Il m'a aussi dit qu'il voulait dorénavant être payé à chaque fois que nous achetons de la viande dans sa boutique. Plus de crédit. Le boulanger m'a demandé de faire la même chose il y a 2 jours. Au début, je croyais que c'était un nouveau dispositif mis en place à cause de l'épidémie à des réglementations. Mais il semblerait que mes amis ont toujours des arrangements financiers avec les mêmes enseignes. J'ai tellement honte que j'en suis resté couate. 8 octobre, ça ne peut plus durer. Clarence est devenu complètement fou. Il dépense tout notre argent. Je sais pas comment il peut comment l'empêcher. Quelquefois, je souhaiterais qu'il ne soit jamais revenu de la guerre. D'accord. Bon, notre très cher Clarence a eu un pet au casque à cause de la guerre pour le moment. Ok. Ah, bibliothèque perdue. Les vampires sont des alliés. Attends, quoi? Les vampires ont-ils des alliés parmi les vivants? Bien sûr que oui, ils se font appeler la confrérie, ils se servent de leur maître immortel de nombreuses manières, certainement en échange de privilèges et de connaissances. C'est un endroit où les traite, j'offre personnellement 1000 livres au premier qui pourra m'apporter la preuve que cette bibliothèque existe et m'a dit que sa position exacte. Clarence Crossley. Ouais, donc c'est les affiches du mec, quoi. Ok. On va revenir la voir après. Hein.
No invitation is needed to enter this building. That can't be a good sign.
C'est pas bon.
No sign of a struggle. It seems Charlotte's friend knew the killer and let him in.
Oups, c'est quoi ça? Mon cher Jacques, j'ai tellement hâte de vous revoir. Est-ce que ça sera ce soir ou bien demain? Je n'en peux plus d'attendre depuis notre baiser sur ce pont, sous une lune illuminante dans le ciel nocturne. Je meurs d'envie de sentir à nouveau vos crocs sur mes lèvres. Ah, mon cher démon, que la douleur de votre douce morsure sur mon cou est jouissif. Pendant qu'une seconde m'a semblé une éternité, j'ai bien cru que vous alliez me tuer là sur ce pont au milieu de la nuit. Mais non, mon cher Jacques, vous êtes resté le fiancé attentionné que je connaissais. Vous ne faisiez que de me taquiner, j'ai tellement hâte de boire votre sang pour de bon cette fois et de me montrer mon amie, Charlotte, en tant qu'immortelle. Hein? De la taquiner elle aussi au départ comme vous m'avez appris à le faire avec les mortels. Puis je la transformer en l'une des nôtres, elle aussi, et nous réunions tous ensemble sur les nuits de Londres et... Pff, ouais, non. Eh, nique ta mère.
Emily wanted to become a vampire. Something must have gone wrong. Someone is responsible for this mess. But who?
Aïe 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 aïe.
Blood. I should follow the trail.
Ça sort dehors ça. Il y a une trappe là. Il y a une trappe et on peut rien en faire pour le moment. Tu veux les traces. Ah, je suis obligé de me laisser tomber, je peux pas me re-TP sur le... D'accord, bon bah... On va faire ça. Hein. Attendez, je suis où là? Ok. Bon. Salut toi!
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same question.
I'm the Marquis de Bois-Colombes, and I strongly invite you to find your own game, sir.
I appreciate
Pardon.
the invitation, but I'm here to solve the mystery concerning the death of a young woman killed by a vampire.
A young woman killed by a vampire? Oh, you're joking, right? Oh, I do love the British sense of humor.
Oh putain, mais... Oh, t'es français toi, c'est ça? Non parce que bon...
What are you doing here?
I recently decided to visit London. I've always dreamed of visiting a city on the verge of collapse. Such a delicate yet intense spectacle.
Ouais, plusieurs ont l'air des autres par contre, c'est pas
You
cool
take
ça.
pleasure from others' misery.
I have been a totally depraved and immoral creature since the day I was reborn, sir. And probably before.
Oh.
What do you plan to do here?
Take pleasure. Take pictures. Enjoy the show. Have fun. Believe me, I won't be the only foreign immortal who bought a ticket to the fair.
Putain. Au secours.
And who exactly are you?
I am Jacques-Michel Guillaume Florimond de Marquis de Bois-Colombes, at your service, my dear cousin.
Oh non mais putain, êtes-vous français?
You're French, but your English is quite good.
I was born in France, sir, but I consider myself a traveler of this world. So many countries, so many tantalizing tastes.
Ah il est incroyable ce perso, hein. Je suis désolé. Hein.
Dear cousin, are we related?
We could be of the same blood, my dear.
Ah, je vois ce que tu veux dire.
I followed the trail of blood from her room to here.
Oh, you're referring to that young woman. Yes, the meeting turned messy. I'm afraid I ruined my last redingote.
So you admit you murdered her?
I admit nothing, my good sir. I only regret the blood of that girl staining my clothes. Oh, blood can be so messy.
What happened?
She wanted to become one of us. Not the first time I have received such a proposal, but I must admit her direct approach tempted me.
And then what?
The body rejected my blood. It happens, you know, sometimes even with voluntary prey. At least her gurglings brought me some fun, until the artery burst.
Bah, je vous crois en fait. Hein.
I believe you, sir. Emily's diary confirms your statement.
Oh, Emily was her name. Quite charming. Well, mystery solved then.
Yes, I suppose so. You can go.
And so can you. Farewell, sir. May you enjoy the spectacle of this fallen city
Bah ouais.
as much as I do.
Écoute, c'est pas ta faute, hein. Enfin. Qu'est-ce que je voulais que je vous dise à ça? Voilà, hein, la seule responsable dans tout ça, bah c'est l'autre. Hein. Elle aurait fermé sa gueule sur les vampires, elle serait pas morte. Hein. Voilà. Hein. Bon, bah ça c'est fait. Non mais je vous jure. Incroyable.
Hello, Venus.
Hello, Jonathan. I remember when Mary came here with her husband and her
Ouais, faut qu'on parle, toi.
What do you...
Ah, j'ai pas d'autres trucs. Ok. Je voulais parler à ton mec, hein. Il y aura peut-être des réponses. J'adore le bruit. C'est quoi ta maladie, toi, migraine?
Good evening, old chap.
I won't lie to you, Johnny.
Do you need medical assistance?
A little.
Non, j'ai pas de
I
médicaments.
will seek.
Oh, j'ai pas d'autres indices. C'est quoi ce bordel? Ah bon?
You need some.
Oh, d'accord.
Good evening, Miss Ashby.
And good evening to you.
Bon, j'ai retrouvé Emily.
I have found out what happened to your friend, Emily.
I can handle the truth. There's no need to hide the bloody details.
Your friend was planning to become a vampire. She thought she'd met an honest one and made a deal with him. Unfortunately, Emily did not survive the process.
My mother told me many times about the risks of being turned. I often suspected she exaggerated the danger to avoid me being tempted.
No, the risk is real. Have you any idea what a body has to endure to become an organism entirely consumed by its need to process and recombine blood?
I should never have talked to Emily about vampires.
Eh oui!
I never thought she'd actually try it without me. Thank you, sir. Here, Take this for your discretion.
Merci. Mais attendez.
Goodbye.
She's been...
Attends, cocotte là. Attends une minute. Attends là. Ce que tu m'as donné là. Ok. Bah c'est pas mal hein. Bon. Mais attends, j'ai pas d'autres... Je suis étonné un peu là de... Non, ok. En termes de personnes rencontrées? Oh, il me manque encore plein en fait. Comment ça, inconnu là-dedans là? Ils sont dans leur baraque, putain, mais ils font chier. Wesh papy!
Good evening, Avery.
Mr. Jonathan, I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, you have come back too late, sir. Far too late.
I know, Avery. I know about Mary and my mother.
I'm so sorry. It was my duty to watch over her. She left the house in the middle of the night. The police said...
It's all right, Avery.
The police said her body was found near your sister's grave in Whitechapel. You're the master of the house now. I'd understand if you fired me, sir.
Ça va pas la tête. Je fais pas de congédier, mec. Meuf.
I'm sorry I could not be here.
Your mother was strong, sir. But your support would have been appreciated. Apart from the priest and I, no one else attended your sister's funeral.
To be present at the funeral with you both was my dearest wish, Avery. But I am sorry, I simply could not attend.
I would not dare to question your absence, Mr. Jonathan. All I can say is that we missed you a great deal during these difficult days.
What is the situation in this part of town?
For a time, the West End seemed spared by the epidemic. But the situation is getting much worse.
Have you no relatives anywhere? I'll understand if you want to take a few days to see family.
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as long as I take care of this house, sir. My sisters are dead, and I've never met my nephews. I'll stay, sir.
Eh ben.
How was life in this house while I was away?
It was sad, sir. Miss Mary moved here in July after she lost her baby and husband. So I stayed to serve both her and your mother.
Quand même, hein?
How was my mother?
Miss Reid was very frail. After Miss Mary was found dead, your mother started talking to herself.
Ah, ouais,
How was
ok.
Mary?
Miss Mary went out looking for you every night after...
Ouais, la lettre où j'ai disparu, quoi.
What are the arrangements?
There will be no funeral, sir. No ceremony whatsoever, because of the sanitary situation.
Where is her body then?
I'm afraid your mother's body was moved to a mass grave somewhere. I have no other information. Civil service is paralyzed, sir. And London is crumbling down.
Ça casse les couilles.
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I live.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir. So my task is not over.
You have served this family extremely well, Avery. Your support during these terrible times is much appreciated.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
T'inquiète.
Do you really think I neglected my mother, Avery?
Yes.
I see. Well, please go on. Speak freely. It's not as if there is anything left to treasure in this house.
Just like your father. You always had this capacity to focus only on what interests you. It surely helped you become a great doctor, but not such a great son.
Ouh. Ouh. Oh, il a pas tort le vieux, hein. Ça pique ça. Ah.
I'm currently investigating
Not really. Except
the McPhersons.
I think it's a rich house.
Thank you, Avery.
Your bedroom is ready as always.
Oh, les vérités du vieux là.
Good evening, sir.
Du coup, c'est ma baraque ça. Oh, let's go. Sympa la maison. Sympathique, sympathique, hein. Ouais. Il a un rhume le vieux. Non mais on va le soigner le vieux.
It's locked, all right.
Comment ça, c'est verrouillé? Alors. Ouh, oui. Tellement de trucs à décraft là. Oula 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 oula. Voilà, alors. Et moi je vais améliorer ma batte, m'en fous. Voilà. Ah, moins d'endurance. Oh, mais les dégâts sont trop minimes. Enfin, l'endurance elle est trop. Juste dégâts. Hein. Voilà. Ah, après si je prenais ça. Non, pas ouf. Hein. Hop là. Moi, je pourrais même améliorer le flingue en vrai, je pense. C'est quoi celui-là? 3 balles à la suite. Assommé. Ah, mais il a plus grand chômage. Moi je suis à l'ancienne. Temps de recharge. Oh, gars. Voilà. À l'aide quelqu'un? Comment ça?
It's locked.
Ah, Je vais dire super, je suis bloqué par la porte, mais tout va bien quoi. Bouk. Oula, c'est qui sont vénères là les... Des vampires. Non. Hop. Et y a ta claque là et jusqu'au bout. Ouais. J'ai 11 000 d'XP et où est le problème? Je ne vois pas le problème, hein. Je vois que des solutions. Hein. Quelqu'un a besoin d'aide là. Par là du coup.
This is now my domain, young Ekon.
Ta gueule toi. Oh, pas mal. Petit stun là, je monte un peu mon pouvoir, merci. Allez, meurs. Voilà. Bonjour monsieur.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. Do you need help, sir?
I think I'm fine. But what happened to my jailer?
Il est
Be
parti.
careful. He's as...
You don't have to worry about...
I am Tadao Kimura.
Oh, un japonais.
I was imprisoned by this lunatic for several days. I thought I was going to die here.
You're not going to die now, Mr. Kimura. If you hurry, you should be able to get home safely.
It seems that I owe you my life. You have all my gratitude, Dr. Reid, since it is the most precious thing I possess.
T'inquiète pas. Allez, à plus mec. Je vais te sauver la vie, tout va bien. Bon. D'accord. Ouais, fuck.
Steady, boy.
Hop 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 pip hop pip hop hop. Je suis plus là. Non mais moi je suis plus là hein. Non mais en vrai faut que je le level up un peu là. Ça va 2 secondes des conneries. Par contre attends, il y a un quartier qui est en train de crever à fond je crois. C'est celui-là. Ils sont juste très malades. Un peu beaucoup quoi. Oh mais y'a pire.
It's locked.
Ouais non, 11 000 XP quand même là, faut pas déconner non plus. Voilà. La vie c'est ok en vrai. Moi je m'en fous un peu. La nuit suivante. Ça descend un peu, rien de... Tout va bien. Tout va bien. Rien de grave. Putain mais toi, ton truc de papier, je peux même pas t'en parler, ça m'étonne quoi. Enfin, question personnelle. Ah non.
You need some rest.
Bon bah, pourquoi pas hein. On va déverrouiller cette porte déjà. Voilà. Comment je passe par là Ok. Première à droite. Ah bah du coup toi, bah oui forcément je t'ai sauvé donc
We meet again, Mr.
Dr. Reid.
We must both be nocturnal.
Breathing the cold night air help.
Tu m'étonnes.
What can you tell me about your abduction?
If you really want to know, I would.
And why didn't he sacrifice you?
That was the weirdest part. He claimed to spill blood was not enough. It had to be done when some stars were aligned.
Which stars?
Oh là là,
That's the whole
illuminé
point.
quoi.
What did he say?
He constantly whined about the voice of his master.
Pas de le faire, ok.
May I ask you what you do for a...
I was a landlord. A
Pas
wealthy
très
one,
agréable.
and not a very kind one, I realized recently.
Why this sudden epiphany? Is it because of your near-death experience?
I was already feeling nostalgic about Weymouth, my hometown. With recent events, I'm thinking about going back there.
How is the situation in the...
I've heard rumors about armed men patrolling and fighting infected citizens in these very streets. I was lucky they didn't shoot me when I was abducted.
Tell me, Tadao.
I dunno.
Yes. Astronomy.
Stars are not just dots in the sky, Doc.
You're right.
Protection by the light of the stars. That's sweet. You remember the name of these constellations?
Huh.
Pegasus. It was the constellation my mother liked the most.
Memory's a strange thing. I can recite without hesitation the names of the 88 constellations. Yet I barely remember my own childhood.
C'est vrai, il dit comme
Did
ça.
he fake his interest?
No. In his madness, he...
Ouais, il a pété un câble ton vampire quoi.
Why are you so...
I was focused so much on...
Have you
Notre
heard
famille,
anything?
ouais,
I was not only a
ouais,
bad...
At least now you're ready to go back and see them.
C'est vrai.
But don't be surprised if your son bears a grudge, sir.
You make it sound like you suffered from an absent father yourself, Dr. Reid. Well, I'll keep your warning in mind.
Have you no friends at all?
Over the years, I'm afraid my greed turned me into my friend's adversary, while I became friends with my professional rivals.
Those you grew up with didn't share your views on money and success.
Would you believe I was once a member of poetry circles and an astronomy club? We were young, such joyful dreamers then. But
Can you change?
I've seen what an altruistic gesture could...
Je ne suis pas un bon samaritaine. Ah, clairement non.
Believe me, Mr. Kimura. I've met a few good Samaritans, but I'm not like them. Not at all.
I don't intend to be a saint. I don't think I have the fiber anyway. All I want is to do something good and useful in this world for a change.
Ah, dispendu. Ah, j'aurais pas dû dire ça. Ok.
I almost forgot what it feels like to live an
Je n'aurais pas dû dire ceci. C'est pas grave, c'est des choses qui arrivent.